You got to
even with one, you still have to have process.
Yes,
Oh yeah, and we have, but you got to adhere more strictly with 9. You got to be very strict with 9 locations, but you still get all that benefit
with at least 2.
Yeah.
One, you're talking about mom and pop, you kind of do whatever you want. But when you have anything over 2, you have.
If you think of it, there's a limit. There's a limit to how many shops you can have. You need one shop that does automotive and body work, one shop that does automotive and diesel, one shop that does automotive and automotive, and then one shop that does automotive and fabrication or welding, so a performance shop. Which means that you can 5 shops is healthy.
5 streams.
Yep. Because they all have, when you hire specialists to do the specialist stuff, and then you have regular technicians.
You want a lot of people, because it's a specialist and somebody to run them. Because what you're going to do is just go all over. If you want, you can do nothing.
When body work's hot, body work's covering the other shop, vice versa. So
that's my problem with me. I can found too many places.
Snuggle up, buddy. No,
hey, come on. That stupid guy don't need me.
He told me snuggle up, brother.
Every 5 minutes. Come on, man.
I do it.
I'm telling you, man. I'm tired of that shit.
I know, Tony.
It's already on? Why you tell us we're on?
Uno más. Regular car shop.
Yes, sir.
Estoy aquí viéndome medio raro.
Welcome to Mechanic Podcast.
What's up, everybody? We will be live, or we are live. What's going on?
Regular car
We're over here
shop.
talking about different locations and shops. That's not a bad topic, actually.
That'll make money. People aren't spending money on trucks, they're going to spend them on cars. You got to pick a good spot, too. Like a good
Saludos al buen Benito, que nunca nos va a salir. Saludos para el Benito.
What's up, Benito? Sí, Benito.
Benito, ¿cómo estás? Saludos. We already live, man.
We are live.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are these my headphones?
You don't need it.
Oh, I don't need them.
Straight mic.
What's up?
Ya salieron los celos, Benito. Ay, disculpa aquí al pariente.
What happened? Oh, volume down? Yeah.
Vamos pues.
And Victor Patino in the house. You got your YouTube on?
My YouTube
So we
on?
can see it live.
Oh, I can watch myself live?
We're live. Aquí estamos estrenando AC. We got a new AC compressor.
Yeah. It feels
Well,
good.
really? What?
Link me.
Hey, mándale link a Brandon.
Now. Right now.
Go YouTube.
No, I got to make him do it. I'm a man.
You already subscribed, man.
I can't just do it myself, but then I'm doing it wrong. And I'm limiting my dollars and my income because I'm doing it myself. I could be doing other things to make money.
Yeah, it's off.
I learned a lot. I do the same thing. We need to start making some money.
Oh, this guy.
I'm losing
If you want to run the shop, you better make sure that nobody
$100 an hour around here.
limitation on your.
That's money. Pretty good money, I guess.
So, Boss Man better start paying us.
Mm-hmm. Did you send a link?
Total Diesel Repair. Saludos.
Ándale, pues.
Yo. Saludos a toda la raza. Everybody around here. Say, hey.
Saludos al gato.
El gato live. What's up? ¿Qué pasa? Mi raza.
Says mamón.
Y ahí,
That's two today. It's two.
Y'all need to stop teaching them stuff.
I know, man. The mecánico. Hello, Gato Tony. All right. Yo.
Volume.
What are we talking about today?
Today,
We're talking about today?
well, I don't know, man. I kind of like that topic you were just talking about.
Diversifying business? Me and you know a little bit about that.
I think it's just cool.
Tony
We'll practice. I
needs
mean,
to jump off the diving board and do it.
We'll ask you questions and you just let us know.
Saludos al buen
You need to do it.
Carlos.
Kind of like that.
I care about you, bro.
Yeah, that's good information.
You need to do it. I
Good
help it
information.
go smooth. Yeah. So
what do you guys have for the fourth?
the fourth, shooting machine guns,
Shoot machine guns,
mechanic money, yo.
mechanic money, guns and ammo and
Guns, women, and cars.
tools.
Mechanic money.
Do
What are you doing?
boat and lake stuff.
Estamos hablando de qué vamos a hacer para el 4th
Oh,
of
I
July.
am gonna do an overnight fishing for my birthday, which is the 13th. So
¿Para cuál?
13? July the 13th?
yeah, and I'm still alive. That's a good birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Va a estar
Entonces,
fishing.
planes para el 4 de julio. Empezando en la frontera.
So Brandon va a hacer fishing.
Tiene más, cálmense.
Fishing. One more day.
Es, si vive un
And
día.
Max, what are you doing, you say? Hunting? No, you're hunting. What are you doing?
No, I'm
Just
going
going
fishing.
on the
He's going fishing.
I'm going to the beach.
Man, I'm going fishing.
I'll be honest with you. Mechanics, they fish more than they hunt.
Hey, you guys reading what the people put on the internet?
It's because we don't have time to.
Thank you, Brandon, for visiting me when I was in recovery.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know you had a
Gary,
surgery.
but Brandon.
Everybody went. Man, we had a party, carne asada, and everything, pero nada, man.
Gary, come here. Come here, Gary. Come here.
My wife told me.
Para aquí
You
now.
know what? My wife told me, said, hey, I never saw your friend that we went to see him like 10 times in the house.
Oh, man.
Well, you tell your wife, I never told my friend at all.
Apparently, it was in the group message, but I didn't see it either.
But you went, Max. Thank you.
No, he didn't.
He
You can't go if you don't know. Hey, you are feeling better though. You seem like you
Yeah, he's talking junk.
keep saying it, Fred. You're talking a lot of shit, junk. So I think you're doing a little better. Did they burn the nerves again?
I went over there to see the doctor today. Say, how you doing? I'm doing okay. So what happened? You from Brandon?
I gotta bring you an Oculus.
Really? See how you know the story? Everybody knows. You look like a freaking stalker when he was in the hospital. You dead? Brother, you doing okay?
I was there.
Every fucking day I was in the hospital. The people, the security guards in the hospital.
He knew you were getting.
He's cool.
Gary, I was there, Gary.
Hey, he's a regular.
Yeah, he's a regular. He's
He's a
a
regular.
I was with the K. I was
Yeah,
walking
you were
around
just
the
asleep.
Hey, let him get it off his chest, man. Go ahead. Let it out. Let it out.
Is he upset about
He cried.
Is he upset?
He cried. Lloró.
And the best
He
thing
cried the whole time.
Lloró. Yeah.
when he was in the hospital, who was the person that he asked the most?
Oh, yeah.
Tony.
Tony.
I bet I went to see him several
Don never came.
Where's Tony? Where's Tony?
I was there.
But me and you, no, it don't matter.
I'm gonna have another surgery, and I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna say I'm at work. My wife needs.
I wasn't
me.
here for 2 weeks. He never called me. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Max was in surgery. You never went to Max.
Hey,
What
well.
did I have surgery on again?
Your foot.
Yeah, that's what happened when you got
You pulled it out of your own ass. Hey, you picked the industry, man.
That's what happened when you get a
Hey,
sick.
we fell into this.
Yeah, you know, huh?
Yeah.
What happened?
Gary,
Yeah.
so what happened?
It showed.
No?
Yeah.
So,
My wife told me, she
para,
doing?
for everybody who doesn't know, a Gary le hicieron una operación. Tuvo que hacerse una operation, had an operation on something on his back. I think it happens to you when you're 60. Is that what
Yeah, that's
happens?
what happens to old people. Yeah.
Yeah, old people.
I'm gonna come over there and give you a big hug.
Yeah,
You might
please.
be unconscious after the hug,
Please hug
but you'll
him.
always remember it.
Please hug him. 'Cause he's sad. man.
Then you go visit him.
It's okay.
He said, put him back in the hospital so you can go visit him.
Yeah,
Put him in the hospital,
you gotta
bro.
fix your ribs.
So when I was on surgery,
You got a bad shoulder, bad ribs.
my doctor said, you want to visit him? You want some people to come by and see you? He said, yeah, Brandon. I forgot your last name anyway.
He forgot his last name.
Man.
Somebody heated over here.
He
Somebody.
probably said which brand. That's why I didn't get a phone call.
Somebody
I
said.
said, my friend Brandon is here.
Oh, jeez.
Brandon, where are you?
Yeah, Brandon.
Like it, bro.
Brandon.
Damn, bro. So how you feel about that, Brandon? I visited your friend in the hospital. Shouldn't you have visited
I
your
feel
friend?
How you been?
super guilty.
Brandon, how do you feel? He's throwing it in your face like that.
Let me see it. Hold on.
I feel bad.
I didn't even know about it.
Let's see.
When I went
Last,
¿Cómo se siente, no?
last text from Gary was no problem. See you next week.
Hey, listen. When I went to see Brando, I was in charge to replace the making pampers, right?
He wasn't sure if he's going to replace your diaper.
Oh.
I do a cleaning, pulling everything out. I said, it's my turn right
My
now.
turn.
It's a crying shame, man.
Uh,
I'm just glad you're feeling better, man.
oh, man, it's because
I
Brandon...
feel worse
Hey.
after my hug, though.
Yeah.
I might
Hey,
feel bad.
it's because Brandon never saw you were in a cane for like 2 months
No.
and never knew you were going to go into surgery.
I think he's
it's
just
okay,
being a big sissy.
He is. Yeah, whatever. Be soft.
It didn't actually hurt.
So,
He's trying to get
No. It's for real. We got beef. Bueno, señores y señores, tenemos aquí un problema. Que Gary lo operaron y Brandon no fue a verlo y está enojado.
Yeah, hey, Lucha Libre match.
Lucha libre match. So Brandon lo va a fregar otra vez, meterlo al hospital para ir a visitarlo.
Ah, qué chingón.
Right?
Y sí, vamos también todos nosotros. Porque nadie fue a verlo.
Nadie fue a verlo. Coño.
Hey, what's Gary's name gonna be?
Sí.
Nadie te fue a ver. Nobody went to see you.
What's
¿Solo tú?
solo tú.
Ahora sabes quién es tu amigo verdadero. Oh, the only one that went to go see him.
yeah. No, I saw.
Tony, I know you went,
I went
man.
down to his.
Tony,
I hope you did.
Tony never visits. He never visits. He doesn't actually care about
Porque me
it.
iba a prestar un dinero, pero...
No, he gets excited to see you when you walk up.
¿En serio, Tony? ¿No fuiste a verlo?
no.
¿Ni te llamaron?
No duró en el hospital, al siguiente día fue a su casa.
Pero tú sí le llamaste.
Yo le hablé porque
He
yo
called him.
ocupaba dinero, le digo...
He said he called him to ask him for money. He didn't call him to say, damn. No, well,
No, pero...
Let's give a hand. Hay que aplaudir al único que fue a verlo. The only person that went to go see him.
Yeah. Gato.
Gato live right here coming at you. What?
You know what? The worst part, he said, they're not going to see you for 10 minutes. And he said, for 3 hours.
That's a good friend, man.
Coffee and talk and everything else.
She bring some pastries.
Yeah.
We eating pizza.
I made him just for him. Special. Ya tú sabes,
We
donuts.
gotta go to Italian tonight. Hit on
Hey, le hice donuts. Le hice sus donuts.
¿Oh, sí?
Tony, I made him special donuts.
Oh,
Gary, ya tú sabes, ya tú sabes.
It's like
Got the real good powder sugar, right?
Whoa, Tony, hey, Gary is back. Oh,
You know
okay.
what? He stopped his donut production for 2 weeks because I don't think I in charge to do the whole
Anyway, guys, welcome to Mecanico Podcast. Brandon, welcome back. Gary, welcome back. Please, guys, nobody else. Hopefully, God protects us, goes to the hospital.
amen
Please,
to
these
that.
guys made it. Thank God they made it. Hey, por favor, no más hospital.
To go next, but guess what?
What?
Whoever is next,
I ain't going.
I'm not going.
if it's me, Gary, you better be there.
I'm not going.
I'm not going.
Oh, you know I went to see you twice.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
You know, this guy not be happy with his day.
Like I said, Gary, I was there just as much as Max was
You
there.
know what? Have a good luck.
Good luck.
He said good luck. Good luck.
No sé, no sé.
Alientan a que no se enferme.
Sí, a que esté uno fuerte y tome vitaminas. Yeah, that way we won't want to go to the hospital, he said.
Nobody wants him.
Because Gary's not going to go.
Nobody wants him. Not even the father of the future.
Not even
It's so ADD. He always has something in his hands.
ADHD over
Yeah,
here.
he's skinning his water bottle.
Going, damn.
Yeah. Earlier it was missing that much. Now that much.
¿Qué
now-
tomaste, Tony? ¿Qué estás tomando? What are you drinking?
Yeah, Tony. What happened?
What is it?
It's chocolate milk with no tequila in it.
Hey,
Because we don't.
The Slim Fast?
at
Slim
least he didn't
Fast
set it on
Light. Fit Slim Fast Light.
Oh, setting on fire. Speaking of fire, guys, Victor got something about today. What happened with the fire? What's going on?
A fire.
Back to the car, guys.
You know, we got two beautiful words, like the good morning. Morning is like a good one, right? And you know Midas? It was it's a guy who becomes everything he touches.
Midas. Golden touch.
Midas.
Golden
Yeah.
touch.
So morning Midas is not a good thing.
Morning Midas is not a good thing.
You know why?
Why?
Okay.
Because he was coming from China to Mexico, with 3,000 cars.
Oh,
800 of the cars was electrical and hybrid,
yeah.
What brand?
and one of them, I don't know, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Okay.
B&D, nobody knows.
From China to where?
To Mexico.
Oh, okay.
And the trouble,
If
in the
it's
middle,
China,
close to
Well, Toyota makes stuff in Mexico,
one of the cars
and so does Ford.
Everybody does.
started
Yeah.
burning itself.
Oh, one of those batteries.
And then
huh?
they all started
Maybe
burning.
just one
Yeah.
cell. You know, the battery has
Yeah.
a lot of cells.
Oh, yeah.
We did just one.
Yeah, just
And
one.
then
What
it
activated?
starts, and then, and also, that ship brings some gas.
boom, 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 boom. There you go.
Well, you
So
got the
thing is
hybrids.
that
The hybrids.
Right now, all the cars and the ship and everything. I mean, the staff was rescued,
Okay, so everybody, like,
Everybody's okay.
personnel-wise,
That's
everybody's safe. Put the whole ship.
but there is
Toast.
no
Gotta
way
be.
we
Yeah.
can stop fire on electrical.
Electrical or hybrid, there's no way to stop
Did it
it?
destroy the
No,
ship?
because
The ship is in
so
the
think
Yeah.
about,
the ship is
Yeah,
in the
there's
bottom.
no way
Think
because you
about
can't
all
put
these
it out.
batteries on these
They're
electric
probably still
cars when
burning
they
right
catch
now.
fire,
Some
that's why
of
they're
them,
so
yeah,
dangerous.
because
When
they
they
you
catch
can
fire
throw
or
them in
whatever,
salt water. They'll
you
just
can
keep
put them
burning.
out and put them out
Yeah,
and put
because
them
the
out,
water
and they just keep catching
does
back on
not
fire
stop
over and over
the fire.
again.
Yeah, they create their own oxidizer.
But it burns.
Shit,
So
I mean,
so it can burn anywhere.
and they can burn for days. and
You'd
days.
think when people's cell phones started exploding, cars made with the same
Those
cell
little
phone batteries might have
debates
not
and stuff.
been, might have had some precautionary stuff to be aware of, but nobody pays attention to that stuff.
so morning Midas, goodbye.
It's great.
No morning meet us.
No morning.
Morning night.
That morning meet us.
Well, he was in Spanglish.
Yeah, it was
Oh, it's okay. I got into it with him, man.
So what do you guys think about it? Tony, what do you think about that electrical hybrid? I mean, what do you think about it? What's your personal thought about that?
For
What's
me,
going on?
I don't even like
You
electric.
don't even care because you hate
I
them.
don't like electric. So,
I don't either.
I'm not feeling if I'm the owner of the company, shit, I'll be crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So,
my dollars. So no.
So 300 carros, 300 cars.
300 cars. Wow.
3,000.
1,000 cars. Oh my
800
gosh.
was electrical and hybrid. I mean, fully electrical it was like
But it
69.
took out all the cars.
But other.
Oh.
Do you know? Did they
but, I
say
mean,
if it was a
800
hybrid or a fully electric car that started it? Fully electrical car started it.
69.
So you know
But
what?
is that what started on fire? Was
got-
that
they
one?
don't
There is
know.
an investigation.
They don't
on
know.
We
what
got-
started the thing.
We got to look at the pros and cons and be
Yeah.
realistic about it. If
You
it
would
had been a gas car, they would have had enough facilities on the boat to put out that gas car and probably 4 or 5 others. But because you had a pot of electrics that went off, lost the whole boat and all the cars.
And the boat.
Yeah,
That's
and
millions-
luckily
millions of
everybody got
dollars.
saved.
Well, so there are
But
some
that's it.
drawbacks to this electrical stuff, people. You got to be careful. Like we have to be really
And there
careful
was
working on
what?
them.
You said 68.
Very careful working on
69.
69.
Fully electrical.
There's only 69
But-
fully electrical
but
cars,
was
800
800
hybrids, and
3,000
the rest. So but it killed what?
3,000?
1,500 cars, all gas cars.
3,000.
Well, the reason you're going to start seeing this stuff on the news is Toyota is going towards hydrogen combustion.
And that's
And when they start advertising this stuff like they're doing now, they're trying to point out,
Yeah, the
you know,
bad
this
thing.
isn't good. Now you need to buy hydrogen combustion. I will say, as a mechanic, if that starts gaining traction like they're pushing it to gain, it won't be a bad thing. We'll still have electric cars. We'll still have hybrids and all that kind of stuff. But it's not got the drawbacks that a lot of these new solutions have.
They push it to be at least 35%. 2035.
35%.
35% hydrogen cars by 20. Yeah,
Hydrogen or
Yeah.
hybrid?
So
Yeah.
Electric cars.
Hydrogen is actually dangerous than electric.
it is. You got
Yeah, it's
explosive
a
in the vehicle.
I have
Yeah.
worked with some school experiments with hydrogen, and are really dangerous, really spooks.
Wow.
It's not good. I mean, it's a good way because the hydrogen, using like fuel cells, we can convert to electrical, electricity,
Very, very easy,
And
yeah.
a really small amount of hydrogen, maybe a lot of energy. That's good. But the hydrogen is a really dangerous because it's all about gas.
If the whole so if the canister gets stuck in the fire, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Troy, are you seeing any electrical trucks coming to your shop?
No.
You don't like them? I don't like that, John.
He says, "Oh, electrical truck."
Yeah, the question was que si ha visto algún carro eléctrico, camión eléctrico, or a truck coming in the shop electrical.
No.
The question was to Tony.
Y no es tanto porque no me gusta, sí. No ha llegado para acá. Y si llegaran, pues no sé.
Are you guys prepared for that? ¿Están preparados?
No, no estamos preparados para esto. No sé qué tan complicado o no tan complicado podría ser. No lo sé.
Not sure how complicated it might be for a electrical truck.
Electric cars aren't crazy complicated, to be honest, but they are different. So different is something you got to take time.
Proper tools.
Yeah, the groundings. You need to ground yourself.
You ground it
What
out.
I'm thinking also is
Right boots.
most of these cars
Tools.
has the battery is actually the battery is the chassis same
Yeah.
time, right, in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what about a hit in the way
Yeah,
of the
impact,
road and
yeah.
the-
Well, no, that's how most of the fires start, is being impacted on the base of the vehicle. And I mean, I think it takes it's got to jam up into the bottom of the vehicle hard, but if it dents in more than I think 6 inches, you're in danger of a cell shorting out and burning.
Yeah.
So I imagine the
There's only
accident.
6 inches of
It only
protection.
takes one cell.
Huh?
It only takes one
It does.
cell.
It only takes one of those little batteries to go. Huh?
What's the life on an electrical car battery?
fan-
So that's the other drawback to electric cars. They start dropping available voltage that they can receive. Within the first year, they're at 85%. Within the second year, they drop another 5%. It keeps on going down about 5% a year. So at 5 years, you're only at like 35 or 40%. It's time to get a new battery. And even if you don't drive it, it will still do that. Actually, if you don't drive, it'll do that faster because you're not charging the battery, keeping it healthy.
Ranges?
$7,000 to $14,000.
Is it covered by the factory?
No, depends on the manufacturer, but yeah, usually they're at 35% after they're out of warranty, so you'll have to purchase one. Now, Priuses aren't a bad bet because the Prius battery is so common. I think it's got down to where you can put it in for 3,000 or 4,000, and that's great. You know, it doesn't go against the vehicle too hard. 7 to 14, yeah.
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 That's the price of a fully electrical
Fully
battery
electrical,
or a
Hybrid.
That's a
That's a hybrid. Fully electrical is a lot more.
Because hybrid
Yeah.
will be between 3 and 7. You know that.
Yeah.
But like say electrical, I
An
think
electrical is
Yeah.
an electrical is all the car. What you want to replace?
So plug-in
Oh, it's on the
hybrid,
chassis?
plug-in hybrid batteries are twice as big as regular hybrid batteries, so they're about
So you replace the car or what?
Hey, Gary, that microphone is not working. Man.
It's another car.
yeah.
That might be put on.
It would be very easy for the automotive manufacturers to rotate you. in.
Somebody,
That's pretty what it is.
And actually, you see those cars.
Recycle the car.
You see those cars
Like your
on
phones.
Auctions and Axos,
Yeah.
sell them for a good deal of the price.
Yeah.
Yep.
But because it's a battery.
We
So people who's getting it, as soon as they get it, they want to get rid of it.
we had a guy that he bought a Chevy Silverado that had a hybrid conversion. It was done by Chevy, but it was by another company. It was right when hybrids were coming available. And I think it was 2015 or 2015. And he had spent $6,000 on the truck. He brought it to us. He wanted us to pull the hybrid system out and put in a fully gasoline system. And he said, "How much is that going to cost?" I said, "About $32,000 because the drivetrain's different, the engine transmission. I mean, it's not just an engine swap; it's a everything swap."
Everything swapped. Another car.
Yeah. So he ended up sending it to the junkyard for $600. Yeah, he totally junked the truck. He just we had a pull apart, couldn't pick it up.
Wow.
And it was a nice looking truck. Yeah. The battery had degraded and got too old and just killed the value of the truck.
yeah, we need to know as mechanic that the electrical and hybrid vehicles, we need to change the way we fix because these cars have this possibility.
Yeah.
There is no work of fixing every.
They're designed disposable.
Every AC system is electrical.
Yep.
The compressor,
Yep.
the ABS module is electrical. So every
Todo,
motor
everything.
in the vehicle has some brushes or some way of
Current.
pushing some everything.
Yeah.
Make current.
So all the electrical parts will be like out in 10 years. So if the customer start fixing something, never stops. When he start fixing, never stops. And every time I have to, like a Tahoe, by 2010, it's a common issue that the brake ABS pumps is failure. This is for like 1,000, right? I use one because there are no new one.
Yeah.
So we need to do that. All the bleeding is up. It's a really headache. And then we start with compressor. And then we need to check about the battery. The battery right now is about 2,000. And then we need to start with.
Which will go down over time. It has gone down substantially.
Never stop. My customer that like that kind of people never stops.
Yep.
And you know what?
Constant rotation.
With this like 15 years old, there is no gas safe.
No.
There's
No,
gas
you're
safe.
right. I mean, they're using the motor
It's
so
only
much.
problems, to be honest.
You know where I think this is all going, and I it's going to be a little. It's like Back to the Future movie, but I think it's very accurate. So if you look at the edge, the cutting edge of technology, that's typically what cars become as they get more affordable. Our cars now make 500, 600, 700 horsepower. Back in the day, that was a hypercar. That was like the fastest, most powerful car you could get.
Yeah.
But technology changed, and those more optimized components work their way down into our cars. So if you really think about it, the whole car having a battery, even in the foreseeable future, that battery getting affordable is going to be it's not really feasible, but a smaller battery to optimize the system would. The hydrogen fuel cell technology is much, much better than just having a battery on board because it actively uses hydrogen to keep the battery optimized. So it's a smaller piece, and if that failed, you could replace that easily. I see so right now, Porsche in 2021 had the fastest car over the Bugatti Veyron, and it was a hybrid system where they had an optimized hybrid system and an optimized gasoline system. We know that hydrogen is a fuel that can burn in gasoline engines, so I think the future is a small, high-performance four-cylinder hydrogen-based engine, a hydrogen fuel cell system, and then a hydrogen tank supplying both. And I think those hydrogen tanks would actually go away over time, and it would be an active hydrogen system that compresses in a smaller tank and supplies both as needed. Because those systems become very, very efficient, where they can produce massive amounts of hydrogen in short periods of time.
So guys, I want to do something real quick. I just looked in the internet, right? The battery life in the Tesla is 8 years.
8 years.
And they cover between 160 to 240,000 miles, right? And Tesla, and the rotation minimum for the capacity is 70%. So in Tesla, he offered around 7 years guarantee of the battery.
Wow.
Right? So,
So after 7 years, they're going to tell you you can't get one.
after 7 years.
Yeah.
You're 8.
After 7 years, you can go buy your own. That's what they're saying.
Traducción de lo que acaba de decir aquí el señor. Traducción de lo que acaba de decir esto. Que a él le vale un pepino, que le gustan, no le gustan los eléctricos, que se los metan por el y no sé qué, y que él se queda con.
You know the cost of the battery for a Tesla?
Go ahead, lay it on me.
$10,000 to $20,000.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well go buy a new
So
car.
buy a new
That's
car.
what they want. 14,000 is in the middle.
Buy a new car.
That's what they're saying. That's what they want. That's what
You can buy a new
Brandon
car
just said.
for what, 30 something?
What is the best shop to replace a Tesla batteries?
Todo dice.
Total Diesel Auto Repair.
Oh, Total Diesel Repair, Curtisville, North Carolina.
Total Diesel Auto Repair to use a 3.8 Duralax battery.
Yeah. But the
gotta
fuel
go.
cell, the hydrogen fuel cell,
Fuel cell technology, yeah.
has a big issue. The platinum.
It does.
The platinum.
The platinum, yeah.
It's a really
Very expensive component.
I have tried to make a cell.
Oh, yeah.
I designed the cell. I designed the prototype, and the problem was it's kind of paper. It's a black paper, but
Yep.
it's a
Nobody
special
likes
paper
space anyway.
that converts
Yeah.
the molecules.
It grabs the molecules off the
He doesn't
hydrogen.
like you anymore.
For a really
He's got to go
small
make. He's got to go make.
it was a huge price. was a cheap price, like maybe for a small fuel was like maybe like 1,000, maybe like 2,000.
Yeah.
Just like a toy. So the platinum is a also know is a really expensive material. It's called precious metal.
Precious metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Precious metal
Yeah.
because
Which is also what batteries are made out of.
That's why
Precious
the
metals.
catalytic converter are really
Yeah, that's why everybody.
Yeah, well,
wants it.
rare earth metals.
such a small amount. Maybe a catalytic converter has like a 1 to 2 grams of.
Right.
I think overall, if we lean too hard on any of the technologies, cars are just going to be too expensive to
So I
repair.
got a stupid
So
question. I got a stupid question for Tony. Trucks. They use catalytic converters?
Trucks.
Trucks.
yeah,
Yeah, they do, but they're not totally catalytic converters.
yeah, they're different.
DPF.
DPF.
Piece of
They're this
particulate
particular filter.
If they made the same kind like the regular catalytic converters?
No, they're not. Not, but they're deal with fluid materials.
How much you get paid for a whole one?
No, well, that's the problem. Have to show some example. You don't see people stealing DPFs out of the trucks like on catalytic converters. Catalytic converters, anybody can buy them.
Yeah.
DPF filters, they don't buy. Nobody buys them.
Because there are not too much expensive materials. It's different technology. Yeah, there is something that might be
Hybridized systems have a
it's a
big
challenge.
future. Yeah, so electric motors have a problem. If you want to go 200 miles an hour, they get very, very hot, and they can't. They literally can't do it because the electrical fields actually start breaking down. And that's something that no amount of technology is going to be able to fix. You can't put a reservoir of liquid hydrogen on a vehicle and circulate it to cool your motors at those speeds, because everything is now a bomb. It's all just a big bomb. If that liquid hydrogen goes kaboom, everything goes kaboom, and then vice versa, the electric batteries can go kaboom. So I'm strongly opinionated on the fact these technologies, people have put millions and millions of dollars into them. They both have their attributes, and they're going to work together to support each other to give us. So people want quick cars, right? Well, electricity gives you quick cars, right? Way quicker. But it loses its legs at about 60 miles an hour. So then you have a gasoline engine that doesn't lose legs, or a combustion engine. Let's not talk about gas, because that's not going to last. It takes over and gets you. You can maintain your power curve a lot better. And whether you're super into performance cars or you're not, that is that's the scientific process of what is the most efficient. The highest output is the most efficient system. So when you balance the efficiency of a combustion engine and a electric engine, you actually get a car that lasts a lot longer. It's a lot more affordable to repair, because the battery pack's smaller and the engine's also smaller, so both are smaller. You can balance between the two, and they tend to last a lot longer too. Look at Priuses. Priuses last forever. I've put so many of those batteries in Priuses, and these Priuses don't have bumpers. People are still putting a battery in it and driving it.
Yeah.
New shocks, battery, and they just
all with a bad battery.
2002s and 2003s all day, every day, put batteries in them, get them back on the road, and they just keep driving them because hybrids last forever. The engine gets to take a break, so the gas engine doesn't eat itself up. The brakes aren't used as much because of regenerative braking. And the battery's small enough that when you do need to replace it, it's completely affordable. And you don't have to have a separate battery anymore now you don't have to have a separate battery to start your car. A lot of these new hybrids, they can use their own inboard battery to start the engine as well.
Oh, okay.
So it eliminates a $300 part that tends to go bad every, 2 or 3 years?
Every
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
So let me explain this a little bit in Spanish for
Yeah.
in Spanish. So, gente, para todos los que no saben de qué estamos hablando, las celdas de hidrógeno, fíjense bien. Primero, tenemos hidrógeno en un contenedor, y este hidrógeno comprimido, que puede ser incluso líquido, almacena muchísima energía. Entonces pasa por un convertidor químico que convierte el hidrógeno, lo transforma con el oxígeno, lo transforma en agua, y tienes agua solamente, water, y te deja electricidad. y te deja mucha corriente eléctrica con la cual puedes mover motores. O sea, entonces ya no tienes un motor de combustión, sino tienes el hidrógeno, pasa por la celda de combustible que se llama, convierte electricidad y ahí te mueve todo esto. Entonces dice Brandon que él cree que para allá va la tecnología, que todo sea eléctrico, pero vamos a tener ahí un motor pequeño, muy pequeño. ¿Para qué va a ser este motor de combustión, de gasolina, de gas, de otra cosa? Va a ser porque esta misma celda, cuando se le acaba el hidrógeno, puede convertir hidrógeno a partir de agua. Entonces puedes tener agua y el motor le mete electricidad a la celda y ahora trabaja de forma inversa y te llena tu tanquecito de hidrógeno a partir de agua.
Un reciclo.
Si se te acaba, tú necesitas agua y vuelves a llegar a
Yeah,
lo que
so
necesites.
I'm gonna, for the English
Yeah, but you see,
speakers.
that technology existed for many years.
Yeah,
Well, that's-
it's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's very
years.
expensive.
It was,
In
very-
1970, somebody came up with a freaking technology that you can.
well, they've been the reason they've been hiding hydrogen for so long because that car in 1970 created its own hydrogen and then burnt its own hydrogen.
Yeah.
So for the English speakers, I'm gonna you added a little something. I think that's really good. The two systems work really good for each other. Having a hybrid battery, you have enough voltage available to turn the liquid water in your car into hydrogen that can now be burned by the gas engine. And as soon as the gas engine doesn't need to be used anymore, it can take a break, lowering the miles on your gas engine, and go back over to hybrid power. They work in a circle. So they're a married system, not in just opinion only. They're a married system on paper, and they've done extremely well versus one system by itself or the other system by itself.
Yeah,
If you-
combinando los dos.
If you ever want to pay attention to the industry and say what technology is going to have the edge, Toyota stood behind hybrids its entire time with electric cars, and it's made the biggest advances in hybrid technology. If Toyota's on the edge of something, that's probably going to be what's happening next. So, for instance, the Toyota MR2, the new one that's coming out, is a hybrid system. It's one of the first hybrid tuner cars that's ever going to hit the market. That's something. When the enthusiasts get a car, they're allowing us to now make changes. So the electric motor is going to have options to put bigger electric motors in, and the gas engine's going to have options to put bigger turbos on, stuff like that, which is cool, but it also tells us that the technology has advanced enough to where those same systems can be used for optimizing fuel economy instead of making horsepower, and you're going to get a hybrid system that is going to triple what the current hybrid systems can do.
Yep.
The key factor right now is hydrogen, which is why Toyota is researching hydrogen, because they want to stay ahead of the game on hybrids. Everybody likes to jump into this ballpark or this ballpark or this ballpark. Usually the sum of two parts is how something is efficient.
Yeah, but anyway, I for some reason I hate engines. Right now,
I understand. I hate engines
I
too.
use repairing automatic transmissions,
Right.
but the thing about engines is the efficiency.
Right.
To be honest, it's a really low efficiency. For us, like a human being, like we have
They are.
working with the same engine with only like what do you think, 15, maybe 20% of efficiency,
Mm-hmm.
while and motor, electric motor has what do you think, like 75, 85, something like that.
Well, I think there's a balance between efficiency and reliability. Electric motor is about 75. A gas engine maxed out, I think, scratches 40, but it's not quite there.
Yeah, but
the
that
mid 30s is as good as it's going to get.
Yeah, but that one scratch for you, even the 30 is the information the company give to you because they run
So-
the car in a special conditions, not braking.
On a hybrid system,
Yeah.
that changes for a gas engine. It changes dramatically because of regenerative braking. It also has, especially on Toyotas, they have a regenerative motor. They use the motor as a regenerative system connected to the gasoline engine so that it's harvesting the lost power. Even in heat, it can extract the heat to make more voltage for the battery. So it bumps the gas engine up to roughly 60%. Not as much an electric car, and of course the electric motor on the battery pack and electric motor on the back are hovering at 70%. So they kind of even out, but only on a hybrid system. You can't do it. All that extra heat and lost energy is just a loss in a straight gas engine. You're paying for a loss. You're not getting everything out of the pump that you could. It's every gas tank is a bad investment in a gasoline car. Whereas a battery powered car, it degrades over time. So every week or month of that battery acid moving around and degrading is a loss on your investment. When you have them together, they benefit each other and they balance out. I'd say they probably balance out about 68% efficiency overall between the two, but it can maintain for a lot longer than one system or the other.
I don't know. I feel hard to believe that more than 60 because an engine like theoretical, when I do some thermodynamic calculations on it, I may get like 55, 58, but in like
I might be a little high on 60, but 60 is the max is what I'm referring to.
I think what you're talking about is the efficiency of the car.
The system.
Because
system's efficiency.
Yeah, because the engine is the same, but
it is.
It has like with the battery and everything, so they get.
We're able to harvest about 20% of that lost potential energy back into the battery, and the battery collects it.
Exactly.
Right.
And the good thing about electrical is that the giant plants of electricity, there are like maybe like 67, 68 efficiency.
Right.
So we lost some to get that electricity to our home.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we
But
can get
the hybrid, the gas engine also takes the load off of that that big electrical business to produce so much.
Yeah, exactly.
And it reduces the number of stoppages due to losing power. Like on a hot day or something like that, you end up, just barely making it to the charging station, or you don't make it, and you have to have a mobile guy come charge you. It fixes. I'm not going to say fixes, but it reduces drastically those two issues from happening.
So random
Brownouts, blackouts, so on.
You would like to keep piston engines and electrical. You like more?
Well,
because Tony, we have a really good.
I like them both a lot.
What you're thinking, right?
I think instant torque from electric motors really gives. So if I'm let's put it in the perspective of performance. I'm drag racing at the track. They allow me to run a hybrid system against a gasoline. I'm going to wax the floor with the gas car because I have optimized torque, infinite gearing on my bottom end. Yeah. I don't even have to start using my transmission until that amount of horsepower requires the transmission, which would be like third gear. So I have 1,000 gears up to third gear, and I'm going to keep walking away from. I'm probably, we're going to see people running 3 and 4 second quarter miles, which is what most cars do in 0 to 60. They're going to be running 170 to 200 plus on cars that don't have top fuel drag motors, just because they're 60 foot, 80 foot, and 100 foot is so reduced with that hybrid system, right? And then the electric can take over and pull the rest of the way on the bottom end or the top end, right?
Yep.
And bottom end electrical, gas top end, you'll never be able to change that. There's no amount of changing in electrical technology that's going to give electric motors the ability to have that kind of top end potential, because they just get too hot. But now when they get too hot, hey, we can harvest that heat, throw it in an electric motor, switch over the gas motor, hit that top end potential power, and it changes the game. And that's why Porsche did so well with their hybrid system, is they're competing against a full gasoline quad turbo, 16 cylinder gas engine, which, I mean, you really can't push it much further than that in the gasoline, side of the fence. And it lost miserably, because that infinite gearing and the efficiency for torque that electric cars give you is never going to change. Whereas the top end potential of a gas motor, that technology's been pushed so far, that's also never going to change.
Yeah. Tony, what do you think about
diesel? I don't like electric. I was thinking about what he says, what happened with this vehicle, that kind of fire. Yeah. And like I said, it takes just a little second to produce that problem. And guess what's going to happen? Nobody can get it out. It's just continue until it destroys itself. Yeah. Well, imagine this world in the future.
In your shop.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
lose the whole.
Wait, no, wait, let me finish. Then I can talk, well, let me finish. So imagine that this world, electric cars everywhere. Having an accident on the street, one of those cells got fire. You got too many vehicles. And if it jumps like a deer on this ship, and it causes on this mess, maybe having a hill over here.
Well, there is a way to insulate batteries against each other to keep them from chain
I
reacting.
think they're gonna work on it. I know they're gonna make it.
The problem
It's
is the
still
balance
scary.
of technology. Batteries will never become efficient enough to allow for that extra weight. So
Yeah,
if we add all this weight to insulate the batteries with this gel technology to keep them from what you want is you want it to burn out in the gel and turn to nothing in the gel, and all the other batteries are fine. But you got your battery's this big, you need about a soda bottle's worth of gel to keep that battery safe. The other cells, right? All that weight makes it to where the battery pack cannot push the car long enough. So instead of 500 miles or 1,000 miles that the car could go on one charge, it'll only go 100 on one charge, which makes it the vehicle impractical and unusable. So now in a hybrid system, you could do a battery pack that weighs a little more, that has that gel technology to keep the fire from getting out to other battery cells and not increase the weight to the point that the vehicle is unusable.
Yeah, but are we seeing fires like that in these hybrid vehicles?
Yes, and a lot. They're becoming more and more common, and they're hitting the news now because you can only hire.
I've only heard about electrical fires on
Yeah,
fully electric.
only-
vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
going
never
to be
heard
just.
of that.
Oh, you said. I thought you said full electric. No, on hybrids they don't. It's not as common. No,
No, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Hybrid, I don't think it
it's
happens.
not as common. Not even remotely. I mean, be honest. When Priuses were out for years, we never heard of them because they just weren't happening.
The problem then
It's
is
these
pushing too
giant
much.
battery packs where you can't create enough safeties to keep a fire from happening
And I mean, you gotta
because
think about
there's a
overall, too.
weight problem here, and weight is the key factor.
Energy.
The problem is everybody's pushing just full electric.
They are.
Everybody was full electric. They don't really understand. I mean, maybe it's gonna help us, but I think it's gonna give some problems.
Well, if you really think about it, a perfect full electric car would be a car with a full electric battery and a gas engine or a combustion engine that burns a fuel that doesn't hurt the environment, that can recharge it so it's not relying on the power grid. That's a perfect fully electric car, which is a hybrid system.
And I think about like more in like maybe it's not too expensive, like preventing the problem, like temperature sensors.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
maybe if I
more
got
safety.
maybe if I got a full electrical car in my garage, I would like to have like a AI system with some thermal camera or something, because I have heard that these vehicles, they don't start like for nothing.
No.
They start overheating. The battery start
The battery gets
overheating.
overheated.
Just
yeah.
like
we
just like
don't
your
monitor
computers
this
at
time.
home.
We keep the monitors on it. We may prevent
Right.
something like this. So technology has to push in both ways.
Yeah.
Safety, efficiency, and money.
Yep.
But the big money right now is in
Petrol.
oil,
Petrol.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we wanna
Which is
keep
not
using
also
that.
not a good thing. We shouldn't keep using petrol. We've known hydrogen combustion can produce plenty of horsepower for a very long time. There's a truck out right now making over 1,000 horsepower on hydrogen. So that the myth that the media tried to produce of hydrogen can only produce weak horsepower is just not true. And it hasn't been true. But the same thing about batteries. Batteries aren't evil. They're not going to destroy everyone in giant car fires. They're going to destroy some cars in car fires. The two industries are whether we want them to or not, they're going to come together and they're going to find equilibrium. They're going to balance out. And we're going to get an optimized product. And when we do, we need to continue to support that and evolve that technology. Something else we could talk about as that progresses. You know what the Right to Repair Act is? So in the mid 90s, early 2000s, Right to Repair Act was made law, which means when companies build plastics that are designed to fail under the hood, that's against the law. They're not allowed to do that. When they take a piece of sheet metal on a Chevy and block your ability to take your bulbs out and put them back in without removing the whole headlight assembly, that's against the law. They're not allowed to do that. But they've been breaking these laws for so long, getting away with it. Around the same time these hybrid systems are going to optimize, they're going to have to legally build systems that are easy to work on. So it's all going to balance out, and we're going to have really, really great cars in about the next 8 years.
Yeah.
Awesome automobiles. Yeah.
Fully
No, I don't think that's ever going to be
No more gas.
permanent thing.
No more diesel.
No,
I promise.
No more.
We got maybe like
Toyota is going to be killing it for a very long time.
Like it or
And they
not.
know what they're doing.
Like it or not, it's
Yeah.
coming.
They know Toyota knows what they're doing, and where they're going is where all the cars are going to have to go just to
I can
be
follow the lead
sustainable.
of Toyota. So I like it better. I like better the idea than the full electric. I
But
like it a lot
it's a better,
I mean,
it's a
going
better
that way
system.
too.
Yeah, you have an onboard charging station. You have an electric system with optimized potential for power usage, and it works. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
¿Cuánto tiempo llevamos?
Guys, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay,
Have a good night. Have a good night.
Gracias, señores.
Hasta la vista.
De Mecánico. Nos vemos el siguiente miércoles, gente. Hey, transmisión.